Hello, Bashar, and thank you for everything you have offered us. I so appreciate you. I would like some clarification on balancing points three and four of the formula. Point three, acting on my excitement without any insistence, assumption, or expectation of what the outcome should be, and staying in a positive state of mind. So my clarification is I get how I should let go and allow things to unfold and trust that the abundance that I'm seeking in this specific example can come from many different ways. But I'm not sure how I can stay in a positive state of mind without some belief that it is going to work, that I am going to have my needs met. So, how can I both have no insistence that it's going to work and yet stay in a positive state of mind? Can you expand on that for me?
Yes. First of all, understand that by letting go of insistence, that is a way for opening up to receive what you truly need. Because insisting on things may actually close the door to receiving what you truly need. Because your insistence may be saying, I know what is best, I know what I need, and maybe you don't. So the idea is to drop the insistence because insistence limits your ability to actually receive what you need. I will remind you of the 7 basic needs of life. You need air, you need water, you need sleep, you need food, you need some form of shelter or positive constructive environment that allows you to thrive. You need the idea of connection or relationship with something, whether it's a person or not. And you need the idea of self-creative expression, the idea of acting on your passion. If you say you have needs that go beyond those, then they are not needs, they are insistences on something that may not be what you need, but may only be representative of what your ego system wants. And it may not be aligned with what you truly need. If you receive the 7 things we just outlined that are the true needs in life, your life will be fulfilled. So you have to pay attention to whether the idea of what you say are your needs are actually really wants, or are they truly aligned with the 7 needs we just outlined? The idea of staying in a positive state is, again, your ability to experience whatever happens in a more constructive, beneficial way. Why would you want to stay in a negative state and experience things in a negative way, in a destructive way, in a way that doesn't serve you positively? Staying in a positive state is allowing you to interpret any experience and glean from that experience and extract from that experience something that will move you forward in a positive direction, that will allow you to feel more connected, more self-empowered. So the question is, why wouldn't you choose to stay in a positive state no matter what happens, knowing that if you do stay in that positive state, you'll be able to get a benefit out of whatever's going on? Even if you recognize that what manifested is something you don't prefer, that's just an objective observation. Staying in a positive state will allow you to understand how that manifestation can still serve you in a positive way by being there. Instead of succumbing to the negative state, that will only make it impossible for you to realize how that manifestation could serve you in a positive way. So it's up to you to decide what you actually prefer to experience, and know that you're making a choice to be in a state of being that will allow you to experience them in the way that you prefer, as opposed to experiencing things in the way that you don't prefer. So it's just simply a choice you make based on how you would like to experience things. And by understanding what your true basic needs are, and not calling things that are egotistical wants things that you actually think you need, when in fact you may not.
Hey, Bashar.
Good day.
Uh, Hi. I am so excited by this. I really thank you for this.
It is our passion and our pleasure. What would you like to discuss?
Well, my personal growth is really important to me. I've known that since I was a little kid. Um, and it led me to you and the excuse me, I'm senior moment. Um,
The
uh,
formula?
The formula, thank you, thank you. Yes, and I've taken to the formula, and I have a really good understanding of it. And it's also I have the law of attraction information as well.
Yes, well, the law of attraction, in a sense, is built into the formula as well. Because again, what you put out is what you get back.
Yes, I have discovered that my life has taken a terrific change. I'm basically happy all the time thanks
All
to
right.
this.
Yes.
Um,
We are
and
basically happy all the time as well.
I like to hear that. Yes. Um, I guess my question I have is there anything there that I may not be aware of that maybe I don't know. I don't actually know, but I'm just
If you
wondering if
say
I'm.
that you are happy all the time, why would you assume that there is something else you need to know? And why wouldn't you understand the formula enough to know that if there is something there, the reflective mirror component of it will bring it to your attention in the appropriate time?
I actually agree with you on that. I guess sometimes I get so excited that I forget where my passion takes me. But I do follow my passion. Like you, I'm an artist, so I do know what it's like to allow my creativity and my imagination
All
sometimes
right.
get the better of me. But yes,
All right. Well, as long as you always course correct, as long as you're always aware to check yourself, you'll be fine.
thank you, thank you. Uh, The only other question I have at this time, it just dawned on me that like the work you're doing to with First Contact, I was really happy to hear what the announcement you made about the next coming year. Uh, um, my question is like what do we on this planet at this time, what do we offer in this exchange?
Many different things, many different perspectives, ways of experiencing life, ways of expressing your creativity that are different from ours. It enhances and builds and adds to our understanding of all the different ways that all that is has of expressing itself. Plus, again, the idea is that in the suggestions that we will deliver in the upcoming transmissions, we will see how you use your creativity to perform these acts for all those who are willing to follow these suggestions, take the actions, and increase their vibrational frequency to be that more aligned with the interstellar alliance. You will come at it from a unique point of view.
I like that. Uh, I listen to a lot of information for, like near-death experiences. I like to give an understanding of what's waiting for us on the other side when we go back to where we came from.
Yes, but
Um,
remember that you are already there.
yes, I am quite aware of that.
All right.
Uh, I'm working on my relationship with my inner being and source, building on that relationship. But I do understand that I come from the perspective of an illusion and
Yes.
going back to something real. Uh, and I actually do enjoy that fact. I'm looking
Yes.
forward to that.
Yes, it doesn't diminish the effect of the illusion because the illusion has its purpose, allowing you experiences that cannot be had purely in spirit, and thus it expands you and allows you to grow. So just by understanding it as an illusion does not in any way, shape, or form discount the experience as important.
I, I've discovered how important our experience here is to uh, where source is. Uh,
Yes,
yes. Um, I also came to the conclusion that we are basically energy that
yes.
has consciousness.
Well, yes, consciousness is energy. Energy is consciousness.
Right.
Existence is conscious.
Well, I gotta say, Bashar, I really do appreciate this. I don't actually have any other questions, but I'm grateful to having this time with you.
As are we. We thank you for the co creation of the interaction, and again, bid you an exciting path and journey. Aveo.
Leo.
Good afternoon, Bashar. Thank you for answering my question. In relation to the idea of the frame rate of reality shifting billions of times per second, but then also the idea of infinite versions of reality, does that mean each individual one of those billion frames per second, there is an infinite amount of those individual frames, such as for me, let's say that this here is a frame, but at the same time there is an infinite number of frames of my own version of the Earth reality. Obviously, like there will be 8 billion people experiencing their individual frame, but then there's also the frames of perception from like the trees and the plants, the fishes, the animals, etc. Or is it more so that from my perspective there is the infinite frames, but then from other people they don't exist within my frame until I observe them? Thank you for answering my question. Good day.
Yes, to a degree, but understand that even though there are infinite frames in all the directions that you mentioned, not all of them are relevant for your particular timeline experience. So while they all exist, you only experience a finite number of them in any given lifetime or timeline. And you only experience those who have frames that, as you say, you are willing to observe, willing to interact with. You create similar frames that allow you the experience of interaction, even though you're not actually in the same frame. All right, good day, good day.
Good day, my friend. So exciting to see you again. All my love. Bashar, I've heard it described by the channel, what was it? Niagara Falls through a garden hose. Acting on the formula, that last part, remaining in a positive state no matter what happens. I've noticed there's some physical feelings I get. What is this? Certain things are dissolving, and physically speaking, I'm feeling like almost like a cobweb on my face, some certain things. Is this natural?
It can be one of the effects of allowing your neurological net to realign itself and be upgraded to receive higher frequency energies. You will get used to it.
Okay. Very good, very good. And and I think that's pretty much about it. With that, thank you very much. All my love, and all my love to everyone else.
Our unconditional love to you as well. Aveo.
Aveo.
Hello, Bashar. This is Erin from Toronto. I had a question about genetics. My question is, I am Caucasian and my husband is Persian, and we just assumed that the dominant genes would be his since he has black hair and brown eyes and dark skin, that our child would look like him. But my son looks exactly like my dad, like to the degree to which my dad showed me a photo of himself as a baby and it was identical to my son. And I wondered, is this a choice made by the child themselves? Does this have to do with their DNA or their life choices? Is it that they're trying to align more to my familial lineage, or is it just genes? Does it just happen the way it happens? I feel like there's more significance here. I would just like to have a bit better understanding. Thank you so much.
It's all of the above. The spirit will choose the genetic makeup that will serve the life path best. So therefore, it can be an expression of what will work for the spirit in this particular lifetime, and therefore they choose the genes that will be arranged in such a way as to allow them the expression and the idea of the, one moment, strongest connection to the future hybrids possible.
Good day. Hi, Bashar. I'm very grateful for this interaction.
All right. Please speak up.
Yes. I've always felt very disconnected and overwhelmed, in this world since I was very young. And I started for a very young age, questioning, look for the sense of existence. Like many others here, I have a long story of pain, suffering, search, learning, and healing to try to connect with God or enlightenment, if we can say this word. So 13 years ago, I found you. Sorry, and I've been following the formula, practice it along with other remission sleeps. And a couple of years ago, I finally found some clarity, peace, healing, purpose, my mission, when I then decided to go back to South America and work in communities, and I took then one of my sons. And 6 months later, he passed away unexpectedly. So I felt lost, disconnected, like I went backwards again. So my question is related to, at the moment, I don't need anything. I don't want to manifest anything. My question is actually, how can we end the suffering of our minds and be one with God?
By understanding that you have lost nothing but gained everything. These things happen by agreements. The timing of your son's passing is something that can actually aid and assist you in stretching your mind towards spirit by reaching out to him, by connecting to him more strongly, and not feeling it as a loss, but feeling it as an expansion. For you exist in spirit alongside him as well, eternally. So if you begin to rearrange your point of view and understand that you are there with him and that he is always with you, then you can expand your understanding, not feel it as a sense of loss, and move forward with purpose.
So your opinion, is grief a form of attachment?
It is to some degree an attachment to the idea that you have lost something, that something is missing from your life. Now, we understand that a brief amount of it can be healthy for you to let go of that idea, but the longer you hold on to grief, it actually prevents the spirit from reaching out and communicating with you. Because the idea is that when they attempt to do so, it will remind you of them, and as long as you remember them through the idea of loss, you will always feel the connection as more grief, rather than opening up to the idea that it is a communication coming from them.
And is anything we could say to help me in this process?
I have just given you the understanding. Listen once again. You have to understand that any time you feel grief, it may be representative of an attempt by your son's spirit to communicate to you. But as long as you look at the idea of his death as a loss, you will experience the communication as grief, instead of opening up to the idea that he is attempting to help you by stretching your consciousness and retraining your consciousness to focus on him in spirit.
Okay, thank you. If I haven't made another question, in relation to the Ascended Masters, how can they help us as an individual or collectively? Should we follow their guidance, or can we connect it spiritually with them?
All ascended masters can be connected to. Anytime that you feel a connection to them, think of them, you are connecting to their frequency. But all ascended masters are basically telling you the same message. It is not about following them. It is about understanding that you have the same potential as they do, to be like them, to know that you are like them, to realize your full potential. So the idea is that they act as reflections of what you can achieve. They act as reminders of the power that you have within you. So if you take it to heart and understand that they're simply showing you what you can also be, then again, you can move forward with purpose and passion.
If I may, another question. So is it true that people are really channeling them as well?
Sometimes you have to have the discernment to tell the difference when it may be a true channeling or when it may simply be an aspect of the channel's own consciousness, which sometimes can still be positive. But you have to have the discernment to know the difference between when it is connecting to a different being, an ascended master, a spirit guide, an extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional source, or when it may simply be something that represents the channel's aspect of a different aspect of their own personality. The idea fundamentally is, if the information is positive, constructive, self-empowering, then it doesn't really matter where it comes from, as long as it benefits you in your life and allows you the opportunity to exercise your free will to be who you are. If it is in any way, shape, or form controlling or restrictive in that sense, then it is obviously, more often than not, an aspect of the channel's personality that they have yet to integrate within themselves.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bashar.
You are so welcome. Aveo.
Aveo, thank you.
All right, I'll say good day. Today's transmission, as we have said, is titled No More Secrets. Now, what we are talking about are what we will term consequential secrets. The idea of those secrets, if revealed, that would have what you would term or experience to be negative consequences. Things that you may be hiding, things that, if revealed, might cause emotional consequences, not only for yourself, but for others as well. That would not necessarily be the kind of feelings that you would prefer. Now, of course, we are not talking about secrets like, oh, we are planning a surprise birthday party, so don't tell that person. We are talking about the kinds of things that you might be doing that, if found out, would have serious or negative repercussions, not only in your life, but in other people's lives as well. This is what we are terming consequential secrets. We are not talking about the idea of necessarily revealing those secrets. We are simply talking about the idea of discontinuing the behavior that is causing those secrets. The effects of continuing behavior that creates consequential secrets on your body, on your energy, can be profound. Holding on to those things, to those secrets, to those behaviors, not only can affect you physiologically by creating constant, continuing stress on your body, on your nervous system, because of the fear of the secret being found out, but also energetically. It will color the idea of your energy, and taking that kind of energy into open contact will actually prevent you from experiencing contact in the ways that you could. Remember that in open contact, you are going to be exposed to many higher frequency vibrations of more highly developed and evolved beings that are telepathic and who would very easily sense that you're holding on to energies that do not benefit you, that do not benefit others. And it would cause a kind of repulsion effect that would prevent you from encountering those beings, because bringing that energy into contact with those higher frequency beings would cause even more distress in your body by forcing these things to the surface, forcing you to deal with them, forcing them to be exposed in ways that could be detrimental to you and others. And so in order to prevent that, contact will not occur for those holding on to the vibrational energy of consequential secrets. So it's not only detrimental to your physical form, it's detrimental to your energetic self with regard to the idea of encountering and interacting with those of higher vibration that are representative of the extraterrestrial races you may be facing in open contact. Now, in addition to that, again, the idea is that you don't have to necessarily reveal these secrets, for again, the revelation of these secrets could cause distress in others. We are simply talking about stopping the behavior that creates the secret. For many people, there might be some things that you have done that are causing stress that you're holding on to that can be, as you would say, confessed to allow you and others to feel better. But if the confession would actually allow others to feel worse, so you are relieving yourself at other people's expense, that is not what we are talking about. For those kinds of consequential secrets, for example, oh, when I was 10 years old, I'm the one that accidentally set fire to my toy, and it wasn't my sister who I blamed at the time. If you wish to confess that, that's fine, because again, the idea is that it would cause relief and release for those around you, and also relief and release for your own energy. But if there is some behavior that you are continually hiding, that if revealed would cause undue stress, concern, disruption in other people's lives, then the fact that you might be confessing it to relieve yourself, but at the expense of other people's feelings, is not what we're talking about. The past is the past and shall remain the past. So the idea is to allow yourself not to reveal the consequential secret, but to move forward without continuing the behavior that creates the secret, to relieve the stress in your own system, to relieve the stress and energies that are negative in your own energy field, so that you are not stressing the body out, so that you are elevating your vibration and being more clear in the face of the telepathic beings you will encounter in open contact. For they will be able to sense, if you're holding on to that behavior, continuing that behavior, they will be able to sense that there is something there that is out of alignment with who you truly are, out of alignment with your core frequency, and they will back off until such time as you allow yourself to stop the behavior that is creating the stress and discordant energy within your system. There will be no contact. Now, in addition to that, because of the nature of the evolution and acceleration of humanity, holding on to consequential secrets of this nature as we are describing them will actually no longer eventually be possible. Circumstances and synchronicity each and every day will alter in such a manner as to actually force the secret to be revealed. Again, possibly at the consequence and expense of others as well as yourself. So in other words, circumstances that are approaching in your year of 2025, your years of 2026, will actually force secrets to the surface. If you are still doing the behavior that is creating the consequential secret, it is quite possible that over a short period of time, that secret will be revealed anyway. It will come to the surface in some way, shape, or form that you will not be able to stop. For you will not see it coming. You will not know who is watching you. You will not know what other people may say or do that may bring about the revelation of the consequential secret you have been holding on to behind the scenes. There is going to be more light in your reality, and light dispels shadows. So it will illuminate anything hiding in the shadows, bring it to the surface, And the revelation of that secret or secrets can have untold effects on what it is you may prefer to do in the future, or how it is you may try to continue to do things that you believe are positive, but may be damaged by the revelation of the secret and may not be recoverable, depending upon how your society and other individuals within your society react to the revelation of the secret that you've been hiding.